One of the distinguishing features of the horses and chariots of God was their terrifying sound. Joel, in his warning of the coming day of the Lord, made a point of emphasizing the noise of the chariots and the approaching planetary army. Terrestrial chariots with human charioteers were known to make a noisy din when charging at full speed. The noise was a combination of the pounding of hooves and the rattling of the wheels, along with the occasional cracking of the whips. The following scene from the chariot race in Ben-Hur gives a good idea of the loudness of chariots, even when only 8 chariots are involved. The scene fits perfectly the descriptions of the noises of chariots by the prophets Jeremiah and Nahum. Of course, the prophets were describing heavenly chariots and horses, but the sound was quite analogous. The noise from past catastrophes must have been overpowering. David wrote that the number of God's chariots were 20,000. Multiply the noise of the chariots of Ben-Hur over 2,000 times, and this would approximate the volume the prophets were describing. This may sound like an overstatement, but as we shall see, it is quite likely accurate. It is one thing to imagine horses and chariots in the heavens, and another to hear sounds from them, especially deafening sounds. What was the source of the noise? The answer to this question can be found in John's revelation. We return to his description of the locusts. Locusts and other representatives of their species, such as grasshoppers, can be quite loud, especially in swarms. They make their sound by rubbing their wings and legs against the body. In his Apocalypse, John wrote that the sound from the locusts of the bottomless pit was made by their wings, exactly as if they were real locusts. But he then described the sound of swarming locusts as the sound of chariots and horses at full gallop, repeating the descriptions of the prophets Zechariah, Joel, Jeremiah, and Nahum, all of whom were talking about celestial events. The importance of John's account is that it indicates the cause of the great noise. We have identified that the locusts of the bottomless pit are, in reality, meteorites falling from the planet Mars. It is the sound of the falling meteorites that is producing the deafening din. Bolides are variously defined by scientists, but as a rule, bolides are fireballs that fall to Earth, sometimes impacting the surface or at other times exploding before impact. Essentially, bolides are meteorites or meteoroids that flare up not unlike a comet as they fall to Earth. The reason that some meteorites flare up and become bolides is due to the accumulation of electrical potential as they fall to Earth. Steve Smith, managing editor and contributor to the Thunderbolts Picture of the Day, explains. The violent burst of electricity causing the flare of the meteor is an electrical arc discharge, much like the discharge from this arc welder. If the electrical stress on the falling bolide is too extreme, it will either break up or in some cases explode. On the night of June 30th, 1908, a large explosion occurred in the Krasnoyarsk area of Russia near the Tunguska River. The Tunguska event, as it is now designated, is believed to have been caused by an asteroid or comet that burst in the air before hitting the surface. In other words, it was an exploding bolide. Apart from the burst of light in the sky, the heat, and the physical damage caused by the event, eyewitnesses were struck by the awful noise caused by the explosion, or more precisely, explosions. Almost universally, the noise was compared to a large artillery barrage. In retrospect, these accounts turn out to be very accurate descriptions of the descent and explosion of a very large bolide, followed by the secondary explosions of the fragments from the first explosion. In March 2013, a similar event took place near Chelyabinsk, Russia. A bolide exploded, causing widespread damage. Though not as large as the bolide that fell near Tunguska a little more than 100 years earlier, the effects were the same, including sounds like artillery guns. One witness even described the noises as a bombardment, an artillery preparatory barrage. Fortunately, the event was recorded by eyewitnesses, so we can hear the sounds for ourselves.
Охренеть. Где-то упал. Слышишь?
Ебать, а! Что это хуйня? Никит, что это такое? Бомбардировка, нахуй! Артподготовка, блядь!
We have noted in a previous episode that the so-called hail that fell upon Egypt during the famous 10 plagues were meteorites, in Hebrew, barad. That the hail was mingled with fire further indicates that some of those stones were bolides, fiery meteorites or fireballs. This being the case, many of the bolides, perhaps thousands, would have broken apart or exploded. The noise must have been tremendous, with artillery-like explosions far exceeding those in Tunguska or Chelyabinsk. The Exodus account records that this was the case. The plague was so intense that Pharaoh entreated Moses to stop it, and he would let Israel go. As one commentator put it, the people in the palace were terrified as much by the din of the falling stones as by the destruction they caused. Knowing the cause of the din makes the terror understandable, as well as Pharaoh's desire to rid the land of Moses and his plagues. The Hebrew word used in Exodus, translated as thunderings, is kolot. As used in Exodus, it is more precisely thunderclap, which is more percussive in nature. Kolot can be used for other sounds as well, including the very sounds we have been discussing. It was used by Jeremiah to describe the stamping of hoofs. Both Joel and Nahum used kalot to describe the sounds made by chariots. Nahum also used it as the crack of the whip. In other words, the same sounds made by exploding bolides were equivalent to the sounds made by horses and chariots in the language of the prophets. When Pharaoh capitulated to the plague, the terrifying sound must have had an overwhelming psychological effect. Pharaoh complained of the sound before he complained of the damage caused by the hail. The word he used to describe the sound was Elohim. It can mean mighty as the King James translators rendered it, but it can also indicate the possessive of God, meaning God's thunder. This would indicate that, in Pharaoh's mind, such a tremendous noise could only have been made by God. The clamor far exceeded any noise man could make. The pattern that the ancient Israelite prophets used to describe the sound of exploding bolides as the noise of heavenly horses and chariots provides us the clue to resolving a curious event in biblical history. During the ministry of Elisha, who followed this pattern, the king of Syria and his host were besieging Samaria. Mysteriously, the whole army had vanished during the twilight, leaving tents, horses, and all their goods behind. The biblical account gives the following reason for the flight of the Syrians. The noise of chariots, horses, and a great host, in the absence of a real army, can only be the description of a meteorite shower or shower of exploding bolides. For the Syrians to believe that the threat was a terrestrial army can be explained that the falling stones were far enough away to not see the flashes, but near enough to hear the sounds. The sounds of the explosions, construed to be the sound of horses and chariots, caused the Syrian host to panic and flee. We know that meteorites and bolides will be falling during the apocalypse. These are John's so-called locusts. We also know that there will be the sound of chariots and horses. The wings of the locust will make the sound of chariots and many horses. The curse of the locust will continue for 5 months, according to John. That is, meteorites and bolides will continue to fall, explode, and rain death and terror upon mankind for 5 long months. This is likely due to the continuous machining of Mars by lightning and with the debris falling to Earth. Some of the material will fall immediately. Other stones will fall progressively as they are captured by the Earth's gravity. So terrifying will the plague be, both sight and sound, that those who remain will seek death.